Hello everyone. In this video session, I am going to explain part 219 of Java for Tester series, that is collections framework. So what is collections framework? Collections framework is a huge topic in Java, guys. Okay, it comprises of several predefined classes and interfaces. Okay, so some several predefined classes and interfaces. Together we call that as collections framework, guys. Okay, there are huge number of classes and predefined classes and interfaces in Java, which together we call them as collections framework. What are these different predefined classes and predefined interfaces which form this collection framework? That I am going to list down soon. Okay, that I am going to list down soon, guys. The names of the classes and interfaces which together form this collections framework, I am going to list down soon. Okay, before I list down those things, let's find out the purpose of this collections framework. The purpose of the collections framework is to use these predefined classes and interfaces. Okay, the purpose of the collections framework is to use these predefined classes and interfaces for, why we have to use these predefined classes and interfaces? For grouping, okay, individual objects into a single entity. Okay, for example, guys, we have, like, let's say there are different objects, student objects. Okay, student objects are there, student object 1, object 2, like that, something. Okay, just assume that there are multiple objects, and if you want to club all these objects together into a single entity, okay, these are individual object. Object 1 is separate object, object 2 is another object, object 3 is another object. If you want to group them into a single entity, then we have to take the help of these predefined classes and interfaces of this collections framework. Okay, using this predefined classes and interfaces of this collections framework, we can group the individual objects into a single entity. That's the purpose of the collections framework, guys. Okay, anyhow, how to group these individual objects into a single entity, I'm going to practically demonstrate using these predefined classes and predefined interfaces in the upcoming videos. Okay, at a high level, just understand the purpose of this collections framework and its predefined class and interfaces is to group the individual objects into a single entity. Okay, so practical explanation will be followed in the upcoming videos. Okay, will be explained in the upcoming videos. Now, guys, now, as you understood the purpose of this collections framework, that is to group the individual objects into a single entity. Now let me list down all these predefined classes and predefined interfaces which together form this collections framework. Okay, for that, let me go here and let me name this as collections framework. Okay, let's name this as collections framework. Let me take this model for explanation. Under collections framework, we have collection interface. Okay, one of the root interface of the collections framework is collection, and in parallel to that we have another interface known as map interface. So we have multiple roots. Collections framework is a kind of concept, guys, which includes several interfaces and several predefined interfaces and predefined classes. So coming from the top, collection and map are the two things. Apart from this, we have other things also. Okay, other things also. But at a high level, collection and map are important. Fine. Under collection interface, I means I have kept here I because to name it as an interface. Collection is an interface. So if I say under collection, if I say tab, under this collection, what we'll get here is something like list interface. Okay, list interface is the child interface of the collection interface, and we have another interface which is also a child interface of the collection interface, that is set interface. Set interface is also a child interface of the same collection interface. Another interface we have is queue interface. Okay, there are three child interfaces under this collection interface of this collection framework. Under the list interface, if you expand this list interface, we have array list Class, guys. For class, I am representing the classes with this C symbol. For interfaces, I am representing with I symbol, guys. For classes, just for representation, guys, you don't have to type C every time. Okay, you can simply say collection, list, set, queue. Just for your understanding, I'm just adding this inside the bracket. I'm adding I because this is an interface. Okay, so that you will know this is an interface. Here, array list is a class, so I'm just mentioning C as a short form, so that array list is a class. Array list, we have another one known as linked list. Okay, array list, linked list. Then we have something known as vector. Vector is also a class. Linked list is also a class, predefined class. Under vector, we have something known as stack. Okay, stack is a child class of this vector class. Array list, linked list, and vector are the child classes which are implementing this list interface. List interface is implementing this collection interface. This is a child of this collection, like hierarchy is there. Okay. So now we are done with the list. Let's go to the next item, that is after list we have set and then queue. So let's go with set now. We have something known as hash set class. Okay. Then as a child class of this hash set class, we have linked hash set. Linked hash set is also a class. There are several interfaces and classes. As you can see now, collection framework is a collection of different interfaces and classes which can be used for, what is the purpose, guys? For grouping the individual objects. For grouping the individual objects into a single entity. Okay? For grouping individual objects into a single entity, we have to use this predefined interfaces and classes. And under set we have asset and linked asset. Apart from that, we also have under set we also have sorted set, which is an interface. Okay, under set interface we have sorted set interface. Under sorted set we have navigable set interface. Under navigable set we have tree set class. Okay, tree set class. Fine. So we are done with the set interface hierarchy also. Now let's move to the third item, that is under collection interface we have list, set and queue. So let's move on to the queue. Coming to the queue, we have priority queue class, and we have blocking queue class. So under blocking queue class, we have some child classes, guys. Okay, so let me take this model. Fine. Under blocking queue, we have child classes. One is priority blocking queue. Priority blocking queue is the child class of the blocking queue class, like that. Okay, it's a class. And we have linked blocking queue is another class which is a child class of this blocking queue of this queue interface. Okay, fine. And there are several other classes also. Okay, apart from this priority blocking queue and linked blocking queue child class of this blocking queue also has some other child classes also. Okay, which are not that much important to be listed here, guys. So I am saying other classes. Fine. Now we are done with list, set, queue under the collection interface. Okay. Now let's move to the, in parallel to the collection interface, we have the map interface. Okay. Under collection framework, we have collection, map, and other. Under collection, we have list, set, queue. Apart from collection, we have map. Okay. This is one part like this. Okay. I just completed the collection part. Now let me move to the map part. Under map, we have hash map class. Okay. Then we have linked hash map class is also a class, guys. Then we have weak hash map. This is a class. Then identity hash map. This is also a class. So as you can see here, linked hash map is a child class of this hash map class, which is a child of this map interface. Under map interface, we have hash map, weak hash map, identity hash map. Then we have hash table. Okay, It's also a class, but there is some difference, guys. So far, whatever you have written, double worded things that you have written, here array list is there. A is capital, list is capital. Linked list, L is capital, L is capital. Two words. Okay, whatever the classes or interfaces which have the two words, they are each and every word inside this interface or class is a capital letter. Hash set, H is capital, S is capital. Linked hash set, sorted set, everything you see, navigable set, tree set, like that. Priority queue, PQ are capital, blocking queue, BQ are capital, like that. Okay, all the things are like that. Here in map also same thing. Hash map, H is capital, M is map capital. L H M are capital. W H M, I H M all capital. But coming to the hash table, guys, this is kind of different. Okay, here hash is a separate word and table is a separate word, but this T is small only. Okay, you have to remember this. Okay, apart from all the other interfaces and classes having the multiple words, where each and every letter of the starting word is of capital. It may be the word may be in between or at the end, but the starting of that word is capital. But coming to the hash table, it's not like that, guys. H is capital, but T is not capital here. Okay, you have to remember that. Okay, now there is a child class for this hash table, that is properties class. Properties class. And to this hash table, there is a separate parent class. Okay, hash table has a, apart from this map interface, this hash table has a separate parent class, guys. For that, I am going to draw something like this. The name of this parent class is dictionary. Okay, dictionary class is there. Dictionary is the parent of this hash table, and property is the child of this hash table. Hash table is the child of this map interface, like that. Okay, fine. So apart from this hash table, under the map, we also have something known as sorted map interface. This sorted map interface. As a child interface of the sorted map, we have a navigable map. Again, this is an interface. Okay, sorted map, navigable map. Then here we have tree map. This is a class, predefined class. Okay, so these are all the things which are under the map interface, guys. As you can see, this is a map interface. Okay, collection interface, we have very big hierarchy where collection has this list set and queue. Under list we have multiple child classes. Under set we have multiple interfaces and child classes. Under queue we have multiple child classes again. Okay, this is a collection part. Coming to the map part, this is a map part that I have just now drawn. Hash map, linked hash map, weak identity hash map, and then hash table properties. Hash table has this dictionary, and then sorted map, navigable map, and tree map. Okay, like this. So apart from this collection and map, we have other part also. Okay, so this other part is nothing but there are other interfaces and classes, miscellaneous interfaces and classes, which I am trying to group in the other section. Okay, so I would like to categorize them, guys. Okay, the remaining miscellaneous predefined classes and interface of this collection framework, apart from this collection hierarchy and map interface hierarchy, whatever the remaining predefined class and interface are there, I would like to categorize under this other section of this diagram. So under other section, I would like to categorize them as something known as cursors. There's concept known as cursors, guys. Cursors is not an interface or class here, guys. Okay, I'm just naming it just for categorizing purpose. Okay, this cursors is neither a class or interface. Okay, I'm just categorizing this miscellaneous classes and interface under this cursors part. Okay, so under cursors we have different things like enumeration. Okay, enumeration is a predefined interface. Okay, which is under the which falls under the cursors category of this collections framework. And then we have iterator interface, and this iterator interface has a child interface known as list iterator. Okay, list iterator is the child interface of this iterator interface. So cursors is done. Other section I would like to categorize and name it as is sorting. Okay, why I'm naming this as sorting? All the classes, all the interfaces or classes which I'm going to write down under this sorting, okay, which are nothing but interfaces which I'm going to write under sorting, can be used for sorting purpose. Okay, these are for iteration purpose. I'll explain you more about this iterator and list iterator in the future videos anyhow. But Based on the categorization, I am just named it as cursors. We generally call this iterator, list iterator, enumeration as cursors. Okay, that's why I named it as cursors. And under sorting, we have different things like comparable interface, and other one is comparator interface. Okay, these are the two interfaces which fall under the sorting category of this collection framework. Cursors, sorting, and one more thing is also there, that is utility. There are some utility classes. Okay, there are some utility classes. What are those utility classes? Let me show you. Under utility classes, we have collections class. Okay, a predefined class known as collections class is there, and another class is also there, another predefined class known as arrays. Okay, this arrays is a predefined class, guys. Okay, it's not a concept, it's a class. So collections and arrays are the predefined classes which fall under the utility classes of this collection framework. So this is nothing, this complete together is known as collections framework, guys. Okay, under collections framework we have several predefined classes and interfaces. They are well categorized as part of the hierarchy. As you can see, they are well categorized. This, but at a high level, if you speak about collection framework is nothing but a collection of several predefined classes and interfaces. Whatever the predefined classes and interfaces I listed down here, which will form the collections framework together. Okay, and the purpose is to group individual objects into a single entity. Grouping the individual objects into a single entity is the purpose of the this several predefined classes and interfaces of this collections framework. Fine. So collections framework at a high level is categorized into collections interface, map interface, and other classes and miscellaneous classes and interfaces. Okay. Under collection interface, we have three sub interfaces, that is list interface, set interface, and queue interface. Under list interface, we have array list, linked list, vector, and as a child class of the vector class, we have the stack class. Under set interface, after list, we have set interface. Under set interface, we have hash set and its child class linked hash set class. And apart from this, we have the sorted set interface, navigable set interface, and tree set class. That is about the set. Coming to the queue, we have priority queue, blocking queue. Under blocking queue, again, we have the child classes like priority blocking queue and linked blocking queue and other miscellaneous classes, which you don't have to learn. And this is the queue. So collections is comprising of list interface, set interface, and queue interface hierarchies. Then after collection, we have the map. In the same level of the collection interface, we have the map interface. Under map, we have hash map, linked hash map as a child class of this hash map, weak hash map class, identity hash map class, hash table class. It has a child class known as properties, and this hash table class has a parent class known as dictionary class. And apart from that, this map interface has a sorted map interface, navigable map interface, tree map class. Okay, this is a map part. Fine. And other miscellaneous classes and interfaces are cursors, sortings, and utility classes. Okay, I'm just categorize this different predefined classes and interfaces which fall under the other category of this collection framework into the cursor, sorting, and utility classes. Okay, just naming, guys. These are neither classes or interface. These are just written for naming and categorizing purpose. We have several interfaces like enumeration, iterator, list iterator, child interface of this iterator interface. Under sorting, we have comparable interface and comparator interface. And utility classes, we have this collections class and arrays predefined class. Okay, so if we have to learn the collections framework, we have to learn each and every interface and predefined class which is specified. Okay, under this hierarchy, whatever the complete list of predefined classes and interfaces has to be learned here. Okay, every predefined interface and class plays a major role in the collections framework anyhow. There are a lot of differences between each and every predefined class and interfaces that are listed down here. But do we have to learn everything, guys? As testers, you don't have to learn everything he mentioned here, guys. Okay, as testers, you don't have to learn all these things that are mentioned here. Okay, whatever that is important, okay, I will explain everything in the upcoming videos. All these predefined interfaces and classes and how to use them, that I'm going to explain in the upcoming videos. whatever the predefined classes and interfaces which are really required for us to use as testers, I'll be explaining this. And also few classes and interfaces which may not be required, okay, which are not mostly used, but we have to know them as part of our knowledge. We should have some knowledge, guys. Even though we don't use, let's say there is something like vector and stack. We generally don't use this vector and stack in our programs. Okay, they're legacy kind of things. Legacy means old ones. These are the latest ones. Array list and linked list are the latest, whereas vector and stack are the old ones. But still, we have to have some knowledge of vector and stack, guys. Okay, you don't. So anyhow, we'll be using array list and linked list in real time. But vector and stack are the older concepts. Still, if you have some like a knowledge, that will be good, right? So in that perspective, what I will do is I will try to explain most of these interfaces and classes in the upcoming videos. Okay, I'll try not to skip most of these interfaces and classes. I'll try my level best in covering most of these interfaces and predefined classes of this collection framework, not only for usage purpose but also for the knowledge purpose. Okay, so guys, let's get started about this predefined classes and interfaces, detailed explanation of this different predefined classes and interfaces from the upcoming videos. For now, in this video session, I thought of explaining only about the high level collections framework and what are the different predefined classes and interfaces which actually comprises collections framework in detail, I thought of, okay, which I covered it. The next video session, I'll explain the next topic, that is, in order to understand this collections framework better, we have to understand the difference between the arrays and collections. Okay, if you understand the difference between the arrays and collections, then you will be understanding the purpose of this collections framework in a better way. So this particular thing I'm going to explain in the next video session, guys. So that's it, guys. See you in the next video session. Thank you. Bye.